Alrighty, guys. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever it is. I barely slept at all the past 24 hours here. We are breaking into live coverage here. We have a severe thunderstorm warning that is in effect here for Wayne County primarily, but also includes portions of the southeast corner of Washtenaw County. It's going to be for baseline 60 mile per hour winds, in addition to 1-inch diameter hail. This line of storms is impacting areas from Southfield down into Livonia, into Wayne, into Belleville, down toward Saline and York Charter Township areas. We'll get on the radar here in just a minute. I got to get this set up on the back end of the stream here, so we'll be live in just a minute. We should be good to go there. That's all set up. I think we're good to go. So if you're just tuning in, we have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Washtenaw and Wayne counties. It says a severe storm located near Canton, moving east at 30 mile per hour, 60 mile per hour wind gusts, and quarter-sized hail is your hazard. This is going to be heading toward Livonia, Taylor, Romulus, Dearborn, and Greenfield Village around 11:50 a.m. And then continues on. It says downtown Detroit by 12:10. Detroit and Wyandotte around 12:05. Belle Isle around 12:20. Grosse Pointe around 12:25. Expect damage to siding, vehicles, roofs, trees. Looking at the velocity on this, honestly don't see too much going on here, but I can tell you from reports behind the scenes. YouTube's not live. Okay, I'm trying to fix it. Stand by. Not sure why it's not sending data. We'll see if this works. But otherwise, I don't see too much on the radar here that really indicates too much is going on, but I can tell you from sources within the warning that it is pretty gusty out there. Yeah, YouTube is not sending data for some reason. Usually this happens when you schedule something, and I didn't have anything scheduled. So this is a little bit odd. We're going to try to restart it one more time. So yeah, YouTube is not live right now, which is awesome. Not really. That's sarcasm. Gotta love YouTube, right? Well, that's disappointing. I'm gonna try this one more thing. I'm gonna try. What on earth? There's like 15 streams on here. What happened? I think our streaming software is bugged out because there's several streams on here trying to get going and it's not letting me do it. Anyway, these storms are moving toward Hamtramck, Detroit, Dearborn, Taylor areas, Sumter Township, Belleville, Brownstown, Trenton, and Gibraltar areas. We have weather cameras I can pull up here as well. Go ahead and try and get those pulled in and ready to pull up. I'm going to try YouTube one more time. See if that works. No, there's no tornadic risk with these storms, guys. It's just going to be some wind and perhaps some hail embedded within it. I am desperately trying to get YouTube to connect and it's just not working out. So that didn't work. Let's try this. Pull up our cameras here as well. Try and do 15 million things at once. All right, got southeast cameras pulled up. I want to look at the Dearborn cam in particular. There it is. There we go. All right, now let's try this. What on earth? Yeah, I'm really just perplexed right now. Let's give that a shot. All right, back to the radar here. It's about to approach downtown Detroit here. The worst of this looks to be impacting our Dearborn cam here in a few minutes. This is going to be moving in toward Lincoln Park Taylor. It's going to be right on Inkster, and looks like it's going to be Ford Road and US 12 Michigan Ave area. It's going to be the worst of the winds for right now. They just updated the warning, it appears, or perhaps, nope, I clicked that. So interesting to know that my radar, when I click it, flashes it as it updates. Interesting. All right. So I guess YouTube's just not going to cooperate today. So that's unfortunate, as our largest audience is typically on YouTube. So that's not good. The good news, though, is it's mostly just wind here. Obviously, wind is still damaging, but at least there's nothing, too high end going on for right now. We're going to have the Dearborn cam ready to pull up here. All right, I'm going to try something on the manual back end here. This may work, it may not work. We're going to try something. We're going to try and push this manually to YouTube. So we'll see. New statement coming in for Lenawee and Monroe counties. We'll get to that in just a brief minute. Back out here and take a peek at that as it comes in. Yeah, it's not going to do that either. This is ridiculous. Looks like Ontario just went ahead and put a warning out for the a lot of areas there in Ontario. I'm waiting for this new statement to pop in here for you guys. But again, if you're in Wayne County, Hamtramck area to Detroit Metro, downtown, Dearborn, Lincoln Park, Taylor, you guys got some gusty winds heading your direction here via the radar. There's our new statement coming in. This is going to be for winds up to 40 miles per hour and pea-sized hail. Winds to 40 and pea-sized hail. I'm getting frustrated with this whole YouTube thing. I can't figure it out. But yeah, backing out. This is going to be the only concern today. I was sort of keying in on this on the daily video where we kind of saw some storms there. Didn't really expect it to happen, but there was just enough storm fuel today to fuel these storms to get them up and perhaps severe. And we actually got to the criteria here for a severe storm. So definitely not going to be a long-lived threat today. This is what you see is what you get here. Nothing back to the west, nothing to the north. This is just basically a 3 or 4 county risk today. So no concerns behind these storms. Although there's some rain there for Lansing, Flint areas, but again, not going to be too concerned about that. All right, we're going to try this. Let's see if this works. I think YouTube might be down because it's taking forever to load. There we go. All right. All right, copy this. All right, we are about to find out this is going to work. I'm really hoping it does. Fingers crossed. I just pushed it. It says sending data. It might just be down in general. Yeah, it's not. It is. It's not pushing. All right. Anyway, I guess we have to move on at some point. I can't continue to try to play with this. So let's check out the airport radar here. Once again, I don't see anything that is standing out to me. There's some gustier winds moving through this area as well. Belleville, Van Buren, Charter Township areas. If I go ahead and animate this, it's going to be moving pretty slowly off to the southeast here. Otherwise, I have the weather cameras pulled up. I don't see too much on the Dearborn cam. It is dark, obviously. It looks pretty stormy. But looking at the southeast cams, I don't see too much going on. I do see here at the office cam that we do have quite a bit, actually, of some darker clouds there. This is in Britain. They're in Lenawee County. So some gustier winds about to move overhead there. Yeah, that's not much going on there. Taking a peek across the area here, we got the Dundee cam, courtesy of A&S Garage. I'm going to tilt this to the northwest there. It looks like a shelf cloud moving in. This is actually close to me here at the east side office. That's all I'm seeing right now on the cameras. I'm going to pull those up and leave them. Back to the north. Still not seeing too much here on the wind front of things. The Detroit radar does have some gustier winds now into Dearborn. The Dearborn cam there does not look to have too gusty of winds. But we're looking at this area right here, this pocket of some brighter reds heading into Dearborn. So perhaps in a few seconds or perhaps a few minutes, we'll get some winds here. Starting to rain pretty hard there in Dearborn. No surprise there. Now Dearborn's getting a little bit gusty there. This is courtesy of Guardian Technologies. I'm still trying to work to get the YouTube back up and running, which is driving me nuts. Doesn't look too gusty though, which is good news here. At least not yet. Definitely some heavier rain, torrential downpours for sure happening here. All right, I just completely reset YouTube. Completely reset it. So I'm pushing it. Let's cross our fingers. Might just be a YouTube issue at this point because I can't send it. No, it's just not going to work today, apparently. No idea why. That's unfortunate. All right. Back down here to the Washtenaw, Wayne County areas. We have a couple storms here, starting from south to north, down in the Morenci, Medina, Hudson, and Clayton areas. We do have a couple storms down here that could be producing, oh, goodness gracious. Okay, well, there's your wind. There indeed is the wind. Holy cow. Yeah, YouTube is not live. It is not working for some reason. I've reset it, pushed it 5 to 10 times, and it's just not going to YouTube today. Every other platform is live. All right, back down here to the radar. So we have south to north, Hudson, Morenci area. This is moving to the east-southeast here. So Fairfield, Adrian on deck here. Also up here, Tecumseh, Britain, heading toward Dundee, Blissfield area. Gusty winds here, not currently severe, but could definitely intensify to become severe if this continues to intensify. Got some good gusts here coming up on the radar at least, so we'll have to watch it carefully. Off of the DTW radar at least, I don't see too much here that concerns for really gusty winds, but even up here in the Dearborn area, I don't see too much being shown up on radar there, but obviously we're pretty gusty either way. So jumping back over this to the Pontiac area, Pontiac radar, should I say. A bit of a bow echo here in Sumter Township, moving up toward Taylor, Romulus, and Brownstown Charter Township. Could get some gustier winds here moving through the Harris and Sumter Road areas, Bemis Road, Pennsylvania Road, 275 cross change coming up there. Into the downriver areas here shortly. This is going to be up the other part of this line up in Hamtramck, Detroit, and Dearborn areas. This warning is in effect for another 53 minutes here, according to Detroit NWS. If you guys have any damage or any reports out of this area, feel free to send them our way, either via comment section on Facebook, not here in the live stream, or you could also message us directly on Facebook as well. Those are the two best ways to get a hold of us during severe coverage. I'm still trying to figure out the YouTube side of things, so I'm trying to do 15 million things here at once. So just bear with me, guys. Again, this is going to be pretty gusty winds when we get into Wayne County here, perhaps into northern Monroe County too. Look at the shelf cloud here on the Dundee cam. We're going to watch this roll in together because why not? Give you guys something to look at here while I'm struggling for my life here on YouTube. Yeah, Monroe itself, proper, you guys are fine for now. This camera you're looking at, though, is in Dundee. This is what's heading your guys' way. Whether it's going to be gusty or not, I can tell you here shortly because it's about to pass over the office here on the east side. So I'll have a good visual of what's going to happen here in Dundee, at least. Otherwise, I would expect Detroit Metro, downriver areas to also be gusty, as well as Belleville, and eventually toward downriver areas with the worst of this. One last thing I can try, I guess. We're going to just see if this works. All right, cross your fingers, guys. We're going to try this one more time. Let's send it. This better work. Sending data. Fingers crossed. It's not getting data for some reason. Our streaming software is just not pushing data right now. I just don't understand this at all. All right. All right. Well, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try one more thing. This actually should work, theoretically speaking. Nah, it's actually not gonna work because I'm already using it. All right. Well, no YouTube today apparently. That's just unfortunate. All right, back to radar here, guys. We're going to talk about the storms again. I know it's been a little bit hectic here. I apologize. Bear with me. This is going to be a line of storms moving through Lenawee County. Adrian impacted here shortly. Fairfield up in toward Britain being impacted right now. Dundee on deck. Blissfield on deck here. These are not severe in Lenawee and Monroe counties at the current time, which is bottom right of your screen, 12:13 p.m. We do have some gustier winds, a possibility here as this moves through. But again, not seeing too much there that warrants attention at the current time. I have cameras pulled up here in Lenawee County, but in Southeast Michigan in general. Dearborn was definitely the gustiest here. All the way up into Detroit Metro, I want to say the Sumter, about 275 here on Charter Township area, Middle Belt Road, about to be impacted here by gusty winds. Nice bow echo here. The good news is I don't think it's going to be too bad of winds, but do prepare at very least for some good gusts. Up here in Detroit Metro, you guys are probably getting some pretty gusty winds in the Metro downtown area right now. This is going to be basically in downtown as we speak, about to move into Canada shortly, and then the attention will turn back here. But otherwise, outside the Southeast Michigan area, there's no risk for severe weather besides Wayne, Monroe, and perhaps parts of Lenawee County here as well. But otherwise, this should be winding down pretty quickly here. The storms are moving pretty slow today, so we're not going to see too prolonged of an event. But it'll continue for about probably another hour or so. The warning continues for 60-mile-per-hour winds and 1-inch hail. The worst part about this, I'm sitting here getting email notifications asking why we're not live right now from people who watch on YouTube, and that frustrates me a lot. So all along this line here from Taylor down through, this is going to be the Huron Charter Township area where the greens and the reds are kind of meeting, but not really meeting. That's your gust front. That's not rotation, but it is a gust front we're seeing here on radar. So yeah, at very least, gusty winds continue. Here's your radar. Zooming out, I'll animate here for you guys. I'm still trying to find workarounds for YouTube not going live, but I think I'm out of options at this point. I've tried everything I can think of. I think we already have, Chelsea. I believe we already have. I'm kind of also thinking that YouTube might be down in general. That could also be the case. I was going to try and manually link it within our streaming software, but I can't do that because I'm already utilizing a third party to set out the stream, so I can't utilize another third party. But all platforms are streaming except for YouTube, so I have to imagine it's a YouTube issue. So increase of winds up here heading in toward downriver areas. This is going to be heading right for our camera at Riverview. Let's pull that up, get that ready and queued. If I can find it. Well, that's interesting. I can't find it on my sheet here. Everything's going wrong today, apparently. There it is. Cool. So we got the Electronic Tech Solutions cam pulled up, ready to go. I'll give you guys a look at that real quick. This is facing to the west, a little bit southwest there in Riverview, which is downriver areas. So we'll watch that as it rolls in. The increase of reds here indicate, in my opinion, that they could see an increase of velocity here for the Taylor, Lincoln Park, Trenton areas. If you're in downriver, I'd be preparing yourselves for some gusty winds. Strongest of winds, it's going to follow very close to Goddard Road, Middlebelt Road, Wick Road, Party Road. This is all areas I used to deliver packages in, surprisingly. Allen Road here. Fort Road coming up as well. I-75. We'll cross that area shortly. That's going to be where I think the worst of the winds is currently occurring. And there's your gusty winds moving through Dearborn, Detroit Metro. Good news is that looks to be out of our hair and into Canada now, so it's Ontario's problem. But this area down here is increasing just slightly, so downriver areas definitely be on alert as this moves through. It appears the winds here in northern Monroe County are pretty weak in nature. This is the radar here off of Willow Road in Sumter Township, and the velocity on this is less than 25 miles per hour. So I think what's heading in that direction is looking weaker in nature, at least. I do see something of note here. I can't tell if it's clutter, but if you guys look here, there's like a blob of green that travels from like Petersburg up through Dundee and now heading toward London. It doesn't look like clutter because it follows every scan it goes, so it's weird. But perhaps some gusty winds there heading toward the London maybe area. I also want to take note here on the Dundee cam, courtesy of A&S Garage. A little gusty, but definitely not close to severe criteria. More so just heavy rain there. So back over here to the live radar, take back the Detroit Pontiac view of things. The cell here in northern Monroe County has my eye. I don't think we have ingredients today for rotation, but I do know that the lake plays an influence here in this general region. So my concern would be perhaps a lake breeze is present that could enhance wind shear. In fact, we have a lot of wind shear out there in southeast Michigan. What is our... Yeah, we're going to watch this cell very closely. This is actually in a pretty good environment here in Monroe County for perhaps some rotation as well. So we're going to watch this carefully. If this is a lake breeze, what I think is happening here, I think the storm is still elevated, which is, I think, the best news here. But as it moves closer to the lake, it may start to try to rotate a little bit. I think we're starting to see that here in London Township. We start seeing the lake breeze plate influences here in this general region here. So I want to keep a close eye on that. This is in London Township right now. Moving east and a bit south here toward maybe, eventually toward Stony Point, Estrel Beach, Woodland Beach, Frenchtown Charter Township on the north side of Monroe. We're going to watch that carefully. I believe it could also be outflowish in nature, but I do think it warrants concern. This clutter here is weird because this green blob follows it up, and now it's close to the red. I don't know what's going on with that. It looks like clutter to me, but the Detroit Redder also has some greens and reds meeting together there, so it kind of raises my concern level a little bit. Pull up the camera in river view again. Overall, these storms look like they're elevated, which means they're not tapping into the surface fuel here, but there's a lot of vorticity, a lot of low-level instability today. Call it 3 Cape. There's some good bulk shear here as well. Look at the spin values, actually. Let's look at the spin. Okay, spin in the low levels is not that great, so that's probably going to work against it. But still, if we have like a surface boundary, like a lake breeze, that can still overcome these low spin environments. So we're going to watch this carefully. North Monroe County has my eye, in addition to the area up here in Downriver, moving in toward that area. I'm halfway tempted to try to go get my other device here for streaming to see if I can push it on a different platform or a different device. But we'll leave it right here, though. Yes, the severe warning is in effect for Wayne County, and that cell's about to move into Ontario. So we're about to be technically all clear, but I'm still watching a couple areas here for some gusty winds. Exeter and maybe areas, as well as Ash Township. Probably some gustier winds moving in there. Looks like it's increasing on the latest couple of scans off the airport radar. But looking at the picture here off of the camera there in Riverview, it just looks like it's outflowish and just not really that organized. Gustiest of winds heading into Lincoln Park, Southgate, Brownstown Charter Township, and eventually Riverview in about probably 5 to 7 minutes. So we'll see what it does here on the camera. Yeah, I would not be shocked if they were to pull the trigger on a severe warning for northern Monroe County. Would not be shocked at all. Um, I don't. The radar indications here is that it's not severe, but it is increasing and could be downbursts in nature, but also could be some interaction there with a lake breeze. We call it marine influences. All right, we're going to try to push it over a different type of platform here. Yeah, all the that is what we call whale's mouth. That just means some turbulent but also outflow in nature. So that's likely, very likely not surface based, at least up in the downriver area. It is very pretty skies though. A lot of people can look up at this underneath the like storms and stuff, and they like to call it rotation because there's a lot of turbulent motion up in there. But rest assured, that is not going to be rotation if you do happen to see that. It's just turbulence and sinking motion and rising air and stuff like that all underneath that shelf cloud. All right, backing up here to the radar. Taking a look back here at the good old reds and greens. Worst of the wind is approaching Riverview right now. Over the 75 at Pennsylvania Road, Southgate, Wyandotte, Trenton areas as well. Further south here toward the London, maybe Exeter areas. I'm still watching this area closely just because I think this could be a little bit of rotation trying to develop here. It is very, very common for these storms to get close to Lake Erie and interact with the marine layer here. And it's also got a hook on radar. So I am a little concerned there. And even the hooks are showing up here on the velocity on the, yeah, this is This is what I was concerned about here. This is the wind, not rotation, but the wind aspect. Some brighter red showing up there. And that's why I said earlier, would not be shocked if they warn Monroe County on the northern half of this. So this is moving to the east-southeast. So if you're in maybe Raisinville, Exeter Township, down here toward the M50 area, Raisinville Road, this is heading your direction for some gustier winds, but holds together. Also watching for some rotation. The good news is I don't see any rotation on the low-level scans here off the airport radar. So if there is anything, it's going to be in the mid to upper levels of the storm. This also could be outflow as well, so it kind of looks cluttered. So it could be a few things here, but I do think it lines up a little bit more appropriately for rotation than other storms I've looked at before. I'm going to try something unconventional, guys. I'm thinking about getting my tripod out, putting my phone on the tripod, and going live on YouTube from my phone. I'm thinking about doing that actually, but I think the threat here is wrapping up, so I think we'll probably just forgo that idea. If this was gonna be like a long stream, I'd probably have considered doing that. But for now, at least, we're gonna sit on it and just kind of wait to see if they do. They just trimmed the warning back. They updated the warning, continues it for Wayne County. Cancels Washtenaw, so Washtenaw officially all clear. I have to imagine they're going to trim this back for a large portion of Wayne as well. My concern right now is highest in northern Monroe County. Heavy rains and wind. Where you guys at? Rain and wind picked up in Allen Park. Rain starting in Brownstown, Charter Township. I think it's more so just clear air inflow to this. That's what we call it. Latest couple scans at least. Pretty gusty winds will continue though here in northern Monroe. In fact, yeah, I'm going to say they're probably going to warn this at some point. Let's get out the inspector tool here. Would not be shocked if they were to pull the trigger on a warning here. This is still actually below criteria here. We're at 47 miles per hour. We're Stony Creek Road and Sumter Road. Also down here in Raisinville, we got some pixels of 46 miles per hour. So if you're in Monroe proper as well along M50 here, you guys be taking your precautions. Get to an interior room. Gusty winds continue. No warning for Monroe yet. I would not be shocked if they issue one. Although the winds right now are still a few below severe criteria, they are continuing to increase, which is heightening my concern here for potential severe winds in northern Monroe. I think the Wayne County part of this warning is either close to being all clear or about to be all clear here. Just a few areas down here in Trenton and Riverview areas that would be concerning for some gusty winds at least. Although if we could have some gust all the way up here to Lincoln Park, Riverview area, but I think the worst of it's passed into Ontario. Yeah, winds continue to increase here. I just tried pushing to another YouTube account too, and that's also not working. So I don't know if it's a platform thing or if it's our third party software, but YouTube is not communicating right now to anything I'm trying to do. 45, 50 mile per hour pixels here at M50 and Raisinville Road, Bates Lane, North Custer here along the M50 corridor. The Riverview camera I'm looking at here is just starting to rain on it. Nothing too prominent going on there. Concern is definitely highest here in Monroe. All right, back to the radar here. I'm just checking out some people suggesting stuff behind the scenes. I've already tried everything they're trying to suggest to me, so I can't really try anything else. Our focus right now, if you're just tuning in, is in specifically northern Monroe County. There's no warning yet for Monroe County in effect, but on the radar in front of you guys here, the brighter reds there are winds between 40 and 50 miles per hour moving through Exeter, maybe Raisinville area into Monroe, Ash Township, Frenchtown, Charter Township along 75 there on the east side of Monroe. So I am concerned right now for gusty winds in that area. The original warning that was for Wayne and Washtenaw is still in effect for Wayne, but the winds don't look to be that concerning here. On the camera in Riverview I'm looking at, the winds are just completely dead calm. For now, at least. That changes, I'll let you guys know. But my concern right now is definitely heightened. And the primary concern right now, despite there not being a warning, is still northern Monroe County. Holly, I would say if you're in northern Monroe County, I would say get inside away from windows. But I don't think it's a basement thing just yet. Obviously, basement's always a good thing to do, especially if you have like trees around your house. If one falls, basement will probably protect you better than you would be up, up in the main level. But the thing that I'm most concerned about right now is just some gustier winds here. This is an area I'm watching closely as well, but I do believe it is clear air based on what I'm seeing on the latest couple of scans here. I'm gonna go ahead and try this out. And yeah, it looks like it is pretty much clear air, but likely some gusty winds here, as evident by the airport radar here. Although the little bit of a hook here on the left edge, I am a little concerned here because there's some increase of velocity at the bottom of this hook. That might, keyword is might, be some very, very weak rotation. But it's also very hard to tell because all this purple, there's your severe warning now for Monroe County. Not surprised at all by that. We're kind of waiting on that, honestly. Did they go, I'm curious if they went possible tornado on this. Did they do that or not? Nope, just baseline 60-mile-per-hour winds and 1-inch hail there for Monroe County. This is going to be, I'm assuming, northern part of Monroe County, probably down here toward the Ida Township area cutoff. Oh, they warned the entire county. Okay. So the entire county of Monroe now under warning here for another hour and 4 minutes. So the worst of this, if you're in the southern part of the county, I'm a little bit confused why they issued it so far south. I think the worst of this storm is going to be definitely the northern half, but if you look at the winds, they are surging south here. So if you live in Monroe downtown proper, likely gusty winds head in your direction here. But down here in like Erie, Bedford, Whiteford, Lambertville areas, unless this increases to your west in Lenawee County, which is right now not expected, I would anticipate the worst of this to stay in the north and east corner of the county. The pixels here on radar, which is really close to the area here, by the way, the airport radar, we like to use this if you're not familiar. The airport radar is a very low level scan of the atmosphere. So the fact that we're so close to it, this is only about 100 to 200 feet off the ground here. So we're seeing these winds of 50 miles per hour, which is still below severe criteria, but still seeing those winds at North Custer, M50, and Raisinville roads, Stewart Road, Bates Lane here, moving into Monroe, the west side of Monroe. Up here as well, Exeter Township, up toward Ash Township. Excuse me, the brighter reds here indicating that we could have some gustier winds moving through those areas here along, I think this is Blue Bush Road, Stony Creek Road, Maxwell, Burns, Exeter, Fay, Schofield, Zinc, Sumter, and Kane Road areas. Is that a wild Chandler I hear? Is that a wild Chandler I hear?
Hello, hello, hello.
Perfect. Do you have any screen share to share or no?
Yeah, radar's on, and so is my camera
Oh, look at you go on a Sunday.
on a Sunday.
Let's get Chandler popped in here. I'm going to dip out of here for a brief minute. There's good old Chandler wearing the good old Top Notch merch I see as well. So I'm going to pop out of here for like 2, maybe 5 minutes at most. Chandler's going to get you guys covered up to speed here. So I'll be right back, Chandler. Appreciate you.
Okay, sounds good. All right, sorry to take you all away from Ryan and his beautiful voice and beautiful face. Getting caught up to speed here on the east side of the state again. Right now, we're tracking a couple special weather statements and a severe thunderstorm warning for Monroe County. This is warned for, I believe, 60-mile-an-hour winds. Yep, and 1-inch radar indicated hail. This is moving right through the Ash Township, Berlin Township areas right now. Within the next 20 minutes, it should be through Frenchtown to the Detroit Beach, Estrel Beach. Further to the south here, they did warn the whole county. I'm interested to see if the precipitation that's over near Blissfield right now is going to continue to track its way this way. I am running the Detroit airport radar right now. Let's go back up to the main one. So we can see where the most significant precipitation is, and that's right in the Berlin Township, Ash Township area. I do just want to take a quick look at the vertical integrated liquid. Oh, wow. Okay. So there's a lot of precipitation up in the storm. When we see these deep purples here, that means there's a lot of precipitation way up in the atmosphere, in the different levels of the sky. And when we see that, that means there's a lot of rain, potentially bigger hail, or a large amount of hail. So I think this was probably what they warned it for, if I had to guess. I don't know. Has anyone seen any large hail so far today? If you have, send a message to our Facebook page and let us know what you're seeing. If you do take a picture with some hail, make sure that you show a ruler or you show a coin, some, respective measurement, so that way we know what we can compare it to. No tornadoes today that I know of. And if we do check out the winds here, yeah, I think this is just turbulent. A lot of times we say when there's green and red that come together, it can mean a tornado, but I think this is just turbulence on radar. I don't see anything here that says anything tornadic. Just based on the radar image that we're seeing here. So again, this is where we're focused on right now, the Monroe County area, everything moving through Ash Township, as well into Berlin Township, just to the north of Estrel Beach. Actually, a very deep purple, 67 dBz. Wow. So dBz is how intense the rain is, right? So if we go to where it's not raining as hard, we can see it's 20, 30, maybe into the 40s and 50s. But when we start seeing these 60s and 70s even, that is some very, very intense rainfall and most likely some hail falling in there. Doesn't look like our vertical integrated liquid has updated, which is fine. Again, I don't really see anything here on velocity that indicates anything tornadic or anything like that. I would imagine it's probably a pretty loud thunderstorm with all the rain, maybe some gustier winds in there, and of course the potential for some hail. We are seeing a little bit heavier batch of rain here. It's going to be headed for the Steiner, Old Port, Estrel Beach areas. It looks to stay north of Stony Point, but this very deep purple is in between Sigler Road. Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness. Okay, so South Rockwood and East Rockwood, Millville Beach. I'm going to say that, you probably are going to want to be inside for this. The heaviest of the precipitation right now is on Ready Road, about to cross 75. Actually, at this time, probably is crossing 75. And then it's going to cross North Dixie Highway and then south here on River Drive over to East Rockwood. When you see blacks on this dBz, that is very significant. 69.5 dBz. Wow. So there's a lot of precipitation in this. There's probably some hail. Again, I don't see anything in the winds here. I'm going to be very interested to see if this vertical integrated liquid is going to update or not. But I would say that in the South Rockwood area, in between Sigler Road and Ready Road, all the way up to Carlton Rockwood Road, there is going to be some intense rain, probably some hail. Visibility is going to go to 0 very quickly in this, if it's not already. If you're in this area, please, please, please don't go outside during this. We don't know how large of hail is falling. When it's safe to do so, send us some pictures of the hail that you're seeing. Make sure to put it in your hand with a coin or preferably a ruler, so that way we can see how big the hail actually is when everything is all said and done. Yeah, when you see blacks on this, the color scale doesn't go up any higher than that. I mean, yeah, I guess you could argue that it gets into the whites and everything like that, but that has to be some incredibly heavy precipitation to get into those whites. I've never seen that on this radar app. The black is the strongest I've ever seen it. Again, looking at 69.5 dBz, 69 dBz, 3,000 feet off the ground. That is insane. Wow. Still no vertical integrated liquid update, which is fine. It should be
Junior.
updating here pretty soon. Hello, Ryan.
I am back on the back end here. Just for reference, the GR2 software is saying hail is 1.68 inches in diameter, and that core of that hail storm goes up well over 20,000 feet. So if you, I think Chandler's already pretty much said what you need to say, but if you live out ahead of this in Berlin Charter Township, Estral Beach, or east of Gibraltar or Rockwood, you need to be inside. This is likely hail that could be exceeding quarter size in diameter, if not close to $half ping pong ball size. This is actually a very intense storm.
Yeah, this is not the Midwestern storm where you stand out on your porch with a cup of coffee or another beverage of choice. This is one where you got to be inside if you are in the Rockwood, East Rockwood, Millville Beach areas here. I want to do just briefly take a look at the southern end of Monroe County because the entire county is warned. There's some heavier precipitation going through the Dundee, about to enter Ida, out of Ida Township. In the Bedford Township areas headed over towards Erie Township, LaSalle, Monroe. We don't see nearly as intense precipitation with this. I don't think we're going to see as gusty of winds with this either, but it could be breezy for a few minutes. I'm kind of curious here, Ryan, if we're starting to see more of a microburst signature on radar, comparing velocity over to reflectivity. I've
Yeah,
been
yeah, I wouldn't be shocked by that at all. It's a very good signature there. So a very localized pocket there of intense winds is likely there between Austral Beach and Gibraltar areas. For point of reference, Sigler Road, yeah, U.S. Turnpike Road, Roberts Road, Lee Road, Campu Road, West Jefferson Avenue. Those are going to be the places impacted, the roads being impacted right now.
If you're at the Lake Erie Metro Park Golf Course, I'm sorry that you have been rained out for the day.
Probability of severe hail is 100% on this cell, on the
Wow.
GR2 software. That's also not, it's rare to see that.
And we were pushing almost 70 DBZ, and we had some blacks on the radar, and I've never seen that on this radar platform before. That was quite something to see.
I do see they upgraded the warning to $half size hail. I would not be shocked to get out larger hailstones in there for a brief time. Obviously, it's a very localized area being impacted right now. It's about to be Ontario's problem, so I doubt they'll upgrade to a considerable or greater than that. But I do think there's probably some larger hailstones in there, larger than a $half. That's just my assumption.
I would agree with that.
So if you
I'm gonna
guys do happen to live in this localized area, if you have reports of any hail, please feel free to either comment on a post on our page or message us directly on Facebook. We'll love to take your reports and relay those to the Weather Service after this warning is expired. So yeah, if you've been impacted by this, definitely let us know. We want to see that for verification purposes at least.
just trying to take a look through the messenger here to see if there's any reports of that hail coming in.
Yep. And while you're helping me here, I'm trying to work the YouTube again just to see if I can't get it to go.
Yeah, no problem. We apologize for the technical difficulties today, folks. One of our third-party tools has been down for maintenance for the morning, and so Ryan's trying to get it back up. It's usually how it goes. Something goes down for maintenance, and we have to go live.
I don't think it's on our end, to be completely honest. I think it's on a platform and either YouTube or our streaming software that we use. It's one of the two.
Yeah, yeah. Again, primary area concerned right now is Monroe County. The precipitation is almost, almost. When I say this, it's probably moved for the most part offshore right now. The East Rockwood area, just through Berlin Township, Estral Beach, heading into Ontario. If you have friends or family that live across the border and across the small pond in Ontario, it's going to be over to them here within the next 15 minutes or so. The entire county is warned for severe. Over the next 20-30 minutes, LaSalle Township, Erie Township could see some gusty winds, maybe some small hail, but I don't think that the $half sized hail or larger will make it that far south. I could be wrong, but I don't think so.
I just got confirmation YouTube platform has a live stream issue right now, so nobody's being able to push live streams out, or at least there's a significant outage that there's a
Wow.
lot of people who can't push. So it's not just us. That makes you feel a lot better, but still, I'm frustrated. So
Yeah, it's tough when things are out of our control like that.
I'm gonna try something. I'll be right back.
Oh no. The fear that goes through my body when Ryan says those words. Yeah, if y'all have any pictures from the areas, Gibraltar, especially East Rockwood, Berlin Township, East Rockwood, regular Rockwood. If you guys have any hail pictures, please, 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 please send them to our messenger. We would really like to see how significant this hail is that's running through there. It's not very often we get very large DBZ spikes like that on this radar. Again, we'll just take a quick statewide view here. Really, if you live in Wayne or Monroe County, it's pretty much the only storms in the state. County there.
They just expired the warning for Wayne.
Just expired the warning for Wayne. All right. Do a video here coming from this very significant, almost looks like microburst occurred here. I don't see very large hail in this video that we received. But again, very significant downpour, gusty winds. The majority of this is out of the state by now. We still have just this little pocket down here in the southern portion of Monroe County, headed towards Detroit Beach, Monroe, LaSalle Township, Erie, and Erie Township. But we don't, again, I don't really think the majority of the rest of this is going to be a cause for concern here. It's pretty much off of the state line here over the Great Lakes. Astro Beach getting a little bit
Test 1 2.
I can hear you, Ryan. Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine. We're both coming
What
through
did
on
you
our end.
do?
What? I didn't do anything.
Says YouTube is live.
Yeah, I hopped on, did a quick live stream over there just to get people up to date.
Okay. Sorry for the interruption there, folks.
You should have been fine on your end. I didn't do anything to take you
Well,
off.
the issue was I couldn't see it behind the scenes. OBS was gone, so I fired mine up to see comments here, but
Sorry.
I'm wondering if that was part of the issue.
The good news here across
Ryan broke it. That's right. Let's get Ryan broke it trending in chat.
Yeah, YouTube was never meant to be on there for a long time. I was just doing a quick update there. We have a confirmed report of quarter-size hail coming out of Rockwood. That's northeastern Monroe.
Do we still have any Facebook viewers in here?
Yeah, we have 710 of them. The good news here, Chandler, is the threat is, I think, pretty much over in Monroe County. The southern cell there is a prolific rain producer, but I don't see anything hail-wise or wind-wise.
I don't either.
Yeah, on that cell. So I think the overall threat here is pretty much done. And again, if you're outside of Monroe County, there's no severe expected today, period. But we had a surprise couple of mornings here. But this line was expected to be more so developing in Ohio and Ontario. So it wasn't supposed to be in Michigan, but it'll be Ohio's concern for the rest of the day. And we're going to have a nice clear day after this, after the rain passes through southeast Michigan.
Been an active weather week.
That's for sure. That is for sure. Next chance of severe weather comes on Tuesday and then again on Wednesday. So we're not going to slow down. We're going to have 1 or 2 days of a little bit of a break, but right back at Tuesday and Wednesday. This warning in Monroe County is in effect for another 41 minutes. I would not be shocked if they were to cancel that early.
What we were just talking about when everyone said nobody could hear me.
Huh. I think my chat's broken now. All sorts of technical software issues.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I don't know what's going on here.
We're going to have to do some deep diving into the background here to see if it's a third-party streaming software issue or it's a YouTube issue. I do have multiple people telling me in my inbox that they're having issues going live as well. I had no issues on my phone going live to YouTube. So I don't know how true those reports are. I'll do some investigation later today and figure it out. But the good news is no more severes expected after this one. So once the stream is offline, we can probably do a lot of testing. So if you're on YouTube, if you're watching YouTube, don't be shocked to see us go live several times later on the day for testing. Just get that out there out of the way. Yeah, I don't think this is going to be anything for Monroe. If you're in the Luna Pier, LaSalle, and Monroe proper, heavy rain continues for several more minutes, actually. But I don't see wind. I don't see hail. I don't see rotation. I believe the overall severe threat is pretty much winding down or over at this point. The warning continues, though, for 39 more minutes. We'll see if they cancel it or expire it or perhaps trim it back some. But again, if you're over in Dundee, Milan area, Summerfield, Whiteford, you guys are technically in the warning, but the storms are past you. So no concern there. Nothing more incoming for you guys. I have like 15 comments right now from people saying that they're having issues on their streams too. So
Yeah, it's just a bang up weekend. Good news is storms are almost moved out.
yeah, I'm gonna do some deep investigation work this afternoon to figure this out because we're not gonna have this going forward. Unacceptable. There's all the Facebook comments.
Oh boy. We just haven't had any Facebook comments
Oh
about 10
gosh.
minutes and they're all here now. Oh boy.
Oh man. Okay. This is probably one of the most unconventional MSC live streams we've ever done. So much technical difficulty, so much off-topic stuff. We apologize. We are usually more put together than this, but this is just crazy day. We haven't really had many tech issues in the past, so it's all hitting us at once. We're due. Detroit has continued the severe warning. Probably trimmed it back, I have to imagine.
Yeah, it looks like they did.
Yeah, pretty gusty winds though moving through Monroe there, all across the eastern half of this. Not really a severe wind, but seeing like 30 to 40, maybe 45 in spots. So they trimmed it back. It includes Monroe proper. Point south. So northern Monroe, all clear. Luna Pier, Erie Township, LaSalle Township, all gusty. But again, I don't see this being severe. Looking at the airport radar in particular, I can bring that up here for you guys to look at real quick. Looking at this, all these brighter reds here, 35 to 45. All across. I see some people in chat here saying rotation in Monroe. I do not see anything on radar
One
that
thing I
indicates
saw
that
was
at all.
potential turbulence with some of those greens and reds coming together, but besides any turbulence, I didn't see
Yeah,
anything.
I don't see anything either. The worst of it's over Erie already, but yeah, backing it up here, I don't see anything that really warrants that at all on either radar, really. Although I will say, Chandler, if you go back on the scan here at the DTW radar, the 1 o'clock scan, maybe a water spout offshore there, kind of heightened up for a little bit.
Maybe.
6 or 7 scans. Also got like perhaps a little bit of rotation on Erie here as well offshore of Monroe. If you're on the Lake Erie shoreline looking east, you may actually see well, probably not with all the rain, but you might be able to see a water spout within some of these storms.
If you do, send us a picture. We'd
Yeah.
like to know about it.
Warning continues for 33 more minutes. I hope they don't continue it that long because the worst of it's over. I want to eat and I want to fix whatever issue we're having here on YouTube. I'm gonna check that out, Lunar there, because I follow those guys too. I'm actually local in Monroe County here, so let's see what they got to kind of show here. Yeah, that's a gustnado. So when you have strong outflow winds on the leading edge of storms, you can get a lot of dust gets kicked up, and if there's enough stretching in the updraft, you can get it to start rotating it just slightly there. That's not a tornado though. That's 100% a gustnado. If it could do some minor damage there, but I don't see that being tornadic. It's on the leading edge of the storm, which is very reminiscent of gustnado / outflow. But yeah, pretty cool video regardless. At this point, we're just going to kind of wait and see. There's probably some gustier winds moving through Luna Pier area right now, but otherwise, I don't see it being severe. The warning continues for about a half hour longer. I don't imagine they're going to continue it much longer. You can send pictures or video either by leaving a comment, not on this live stream, but on any post on our page that's not a video. Or you could also message us directly on the on Facebook as well.
You send them to me, I get to read them. So if I'm mean, I'm sorry. If you want to blame somebody, blame me. That's the only thing you get to blame me for. Everything else, blame Ryan. Otherwise, you can blame me.
Everything's always my fault. All right. Anyway, we're gonna roll through our trusted partners here while we have a brief downtime in it. But again, if you're in southeastern Monroe County to be exact, I see gusty winds between 30 and 40-ish miles per hour. They're perhaps a little bit higher in some spots. I do think the severe threat is over, besides gusty winds, obviously, but those winds appear to be below severe limits. So I anticipate we're going to wrap the stream up here shortly. So in anticipation of that, let's roll through our trusted partners here, starting with A-Class Construction Restoration out of Mason County. There goes the warning. Or no, there goes a statement. My bad. Statement just disappeared. I got excited for a second. American Arbor out of the Southwest Michigan area for any tree service needs you may have. Apex Restoration Mitigation out of Grand Blanc. Battle Creek IT out of Battle Creek. Carlton Equipment out of the southern Michigan area for any Bobcat equipment rental, sales, parts, or service needs. Crystal Flash Propane across the state of Michigan. Ink Media for digital marketing or website design needs. Katz Roofing out of Potterville, which is near Lansing. Kuiper Tree Care, West Michigan. McKay Tree Specialist in Southeast Michigan. Mike Hayes Roofing and Siding out of the Thumb region. On Top Roofing, Livingston County, surrounding areas. Rainbow Restoration, our trusted partner of the day, around Kent County, surrounding areas, and restoration needs 616-583-1234. Again, 616-583-1234 for Rainbow Restoration in Kent County and surrounding areas. RMHC House of Detroit. Servpro across the state of Michigan for any water, fire, or mold needs you may have. Storm Guard, Detroit Metro North for any roofing and construction needs there. Top Gun Roofing Exteriors out of West Michigan. Top Notch Tree Care out of the Jackson and Lansing corridors. And lastly, Victor's Home Solutions in the Mount Pleasant and Tri-Cities area. Also want to mention, I need to get that inputted into my system. Rapid Radios, also back for this year. Our communication sponsor here at Michigan Storm Chasers. Rapid Radios based out of the Grand Rapids metro area. If you have LTE radio needs for your business or just general use, Rapid Radios is your go-to. All these trusted partners help keep operations rolling here. They also provide services to you guys in the event you happen to need them after a storm or just in general. So feel free to contact them if you need their services, or contact us and we'll put you in touch with the proper person for your area.
There is one more, Ryan, that we can shout out out of Cadillac.
Oh yeah, Northern Steel Sales and Design there. Our camera sponsor also jumped on board as a trusted partner for this year. I don't have contact info though, but Northern Steel Sales and Design out of Cadillac.
I do. I have contact info. You visit the website at northernsteeldesign.com, or you can give a phone call to 231 396 1220.
There you go. Also, watching a very close eye for our Ontario friends in the Leamington, Kingsville area. What a hook this storm has. It's got some rotation on it too, looks like. It's crazy. I would have to imagine they're going to end this warning at any point. Nikki says wind picked up in Dixie, Berlin Township. Yep. Looks to be below severe criteria, though. No rain, Monroe downtown. Yeah, you guys are in kind of like in a clear slot here. It'll pick back up here in a minute, but after that, it'll be a break and then perhaps some more rain coming behind it. But what's behind this is not anything to be concerned about, just some general rain showers there for you guys. No, Pamela, not really out of the blue. We saw it coming this morning that we could have a couple pop-up severe storms. They were expected to be in Ohio and Ontario today, but they slowed down just a bit, enough to pop up in Michigan and become severe. So not really unexpected, but maybe a little bit. Depends how you look at it. I think we're good to wrap up here, Chandler.
Think so?
I think so. If you look at the wind velocity, it's pretty much on Lake Erie now, no longer our issue. Nothing else behind it coming. So the warning expires in 24 minutes, and there's just nothing to talk about for 24 minutes, you know?
Yeah, I get it.
We'll wait a few more minutes, but I think we're probably good to wrap this up.
All
From the
right.
eastern, you can pop out of here. I got it. From the eastern half of the county, feel free to stay indoors just in case wind is continuing. But looking at the velocity here, 99.9% of this is on Lake Erie now, no longer a concern. And what is on the land is nowhere near severe criteria. Now, if you happen to live down here in Sandusky, Ohio, Port Clinton, you guys have a pretty good, looks like some wind heading down the shoreline there in northern Ohio. So that is a concern for any friends, family, or if you happen to watch from this area. This is some pretty gusty winds here, still below severe criteria, it looks like, heading your direction. The warning is for the Lucas County area, it appears, for 60-mile-per-hour winds, issued by the NWS out of Cleveland. Otherwise, though, Monroe County here in Michigan, I am entitled to say, or inclined to say, that you guys are pretty much all clear, despite the warning continuing. I'm going to wait to see if they cancel it here shortly. If they do, we'll hop out of here. But regardless, I think we're going to hop out in a matter of a few minutes here. Yeah, so I don't mean to be short today, but we had technical difficulties all week long with our software. I was up the entire night tracking storms. I have not slept in 2 days. So I am cranky. And on top of it, having technical difficulties, I'm hungry. I wanted to go out and watch storms roll in too. So I'm just kind of all getting hit at once by everything at once. So I don't mean to be short, but I'm kind of in a mood today. Yeah, this is over for Monroe County. The statement was in effect for 40-mile-per-hour winds and I believe half-inch hail. But that got replaced by a warning for half-dollar size hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. I think both of which verified. Shout out to the Detroit Weather Service as well for issuing the warnings today. YouTube is not working for us, Pamela. We have tried everything we can and we cannot get it to take off. Yes, Julie, smash like button for my sanity. I appreciate that, Julie. We're going to take a deeper dive into our software because we had too many technical difficulties this week to just ignore and write off as one off. So we're going to look at everything and hopefully not have these issues again. Although when you rely on platforms and softwares, there's always a chance that that could go down because you're not really in control of it. But for a platform of our size, we have a combined over 1 million people who follow us and rely on us. So that's unacceptable to go down like that. So if it does go down, have a backup option. So we're going to look at everything and we're going to try to get some processes in place so that if one thing fails, we could restart something else and try to fix it. But either way, I think we're going to wrap this stream up here in Monroe County. All the wind is now on Erie. I kind of don't understand why they're not expiring the warning. I don't think it's worth staying alive for 20 more minutes either. Gusty winds continue, but does not appear to be severe. I mean, I don't think it's a computer issue. My GPU, CPU, it's all good. I think it's just a software issue we're using to stream with. They went ahead and pulled the trigger on a severe thunderstorm watch for our friends in Ohio and Indiana. Portions of Ohio and Indiana, at least. Almost all of Ohio, actually. Very far southeast Indiana, western Pennsylvania, northern West Virginia. Oh, I'm really hoping they expire this warning so we can officially say all clear. But they're just not going to do it. They're going to torture me. Gusty winds in Ohio now, upwards of severe criteria in Reno Beach. Curtis area as well, heading down toward Cedar Point, Port Clinton, Sandusky areas. Yeah, I guess they're anticipating this line of storms to continue to push east here, so they issued a watch here for almost all of Ohio out ahead of this, including southeast Indiana. So if you're watching, there is no severe threat today after obviously the storms now. Behind it, there's some rain, but those are not going to be severe in nature, just some light, perhaps moderate rain at times. Behind it, on the west side, north side of the state, you guys are pretty much all clear from any precipitation. Very scattered or very isolated nature in general. So I'm going to give it until 1:30, and then if that warning's not expired, I'm going to end the stream here just because, again, I don't see anything happening. I'll give it until the top of the half hour. Maybe they'll be inclined to expire the warning at that exact 1:30 mark. Yes, so next severe chance Tuesday, Southwest Michigan in particular, then Wednesday, South Michigan as well. I do think both days have potential. Wednesday's potential looks highest across the Ohio Valley to our south. We might get it on a low risk up here in Michigan, to be determined. Tuesday, Southwest Michigan, West Michigan as well. There's a low end chance for some damaging wind and large hail as some storms approach in the afternoon time frame there. I did a daily video on it today on YouTube. That uploaded and it works. So if you want to go see a forecast on YouTube for video form, feel free to head that direction. Yeah, I don't think it's a computer issue because the issues we have seem to be with our streaming software. What I'll probably do here once this live stream is over, I'm probably going to reset everything and then try to push the stream to YouTube to see if it takes off if I just reset the entire thing. Because once I'm streaming, obviously, I can't stop streaming. So I wonder if it's a communication issue where it's tried to say we're live, but it's really not. So I'm going to try and do some testing here this afternoon and evening. So if you guys do have YouTube notifications on, you start seeing we're live. It's just testing. There's no severe expected today. All right, we have a half a minute left to go here. I'm going to roll the outro at 1:30, but either way, if in Monroe County, the warning does continue for 20 more minutes, but 15 more minutes to be exact. But the storms have since moved on to Lake Erie and no longer pose a threat to you guys there. So we're going to wrap this up. I appreciate you guys watching. I'm going to roll the outro. And I'll catch you guys later. Officially all clear. The warning bar just changed back to blue. They have canceled the warning for Monroe, so we're officially all clear at just the right times. Perfect, guys. Enjoy your day. I'll catch you guys on tomorrow's video, and perhaps more coverage of severe weather on Tuesday and Wednesday of this week. If you're on the YouTube side, don't be shocked to see us go live for testing later on today. Thanks for watching.